Writers. We know that there are power in words when we write, but we also know that there can be just as much power in our pictures. Today, we are going to review ways that we can teach our readers in our pictures. We will start by looking at our mentor author, Anne Schreiber, and thinking about what does she do, why does she do it, and how does she do it. So let's take a look now to see what Anne Schreiber does. Right away, we can see that Anne Schreiber uses labels. A label is important because it tells the name of a certain part of the picture. So right here, she wants us to know that this shark is called a hammer shark. And if you look at our examples, we can use arrows to point to the part that we want to teach about and write our label. So this arrow right here is pointing to the beak, and we wrote a label to let you know what that part was called. Another thing that Anne does to make sure she has a teaching picture is she uses a caption. A caption is important because it explains more information about the picture. A caption can be written underneath the picture, or it can be written next to the picture like you see here. So you have the arrow that's kind of pointing to the part that she's teaching you about. Now, I want you to pay close attention to this. She doesn't just draw an arrow, but she writes the caption to explain more about what the arrow is pointing to. The next thing that Anne does to make sure that she has a teaching picture is to use a zoom in. Zooming in is important because it helps to show what part you are teaching about up close in detail. So we couldn't just look at this shark's skin and tell that it was bumpy and could tell that it was rough. So we had to create a zoom in so that we could see what it looks like close up. One important thing to remember when you are zooming in is to not just zoom in, but make sure that you write a caption to tell us what you are zooming in about. So not only is the zoom in important so that we can see in detail and close up what you learn about, but you also need to write a caption that helps us to understand more information about the close-up. We're going to take a look at another mentor author. So the author of this book was Laura Marsh. And one thing that Laura Marsh adds to her book to make sure that it's a teaching book is she adds some fun facts. You will notice that sometimes the writer might call it fun facts, sometimes the writer might call it cool facts, and sometimes they might call it interesting facts. But this is another cool way to teach our reader interesting facts about our topic. One thing I want you to notice is when the author wrote the cool fact, they didn't just write a caption, but they gave us a picture to help us be able to picture in our mind exactly what that caption is talking about. So make sure when you do your cool facts, don't just write a caption, make sure you have a picture that goes with the caption.